Hello and welcome to the Christmas edition of the KOFISI Connect podcast. And because it's December, we thought we'd have a bit of a festive theme and do something a little more Christmassy. So what better than to reach out to our own clientele, an array of international KOFISI members and their friends, and find out what exactly Christmas means to them and how it's celebrated in their country. So instead of me introducing everybody, which would be very boring, I'd like you all please to introduce yourselves. Tell me what your name is, where you're from, and then maybe just a little line about what you enjoy most about how Christmas is celebrated in your country, or how your family celebrates Christmas.
So let me go ahead. Eliya Jonas from Tanzania. For us, Christmas is about getting together as a family. Kind of a reunion after a year of being apart, coming together, reflect on how the year has been, count the blessing, and of course, enjoy the moment with the family.
Great.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Chioma. I'm Nigerian, and what I enjoy the most about Christmas back home, besides family, so I'm going to go with something else, is food. There is a lot of food. You can eat everything and anything and not feel guilty at all. You get a free pass, and I like that a lot.
Great. We'll come back to food a little later, because food is obviously kind of key, I think, to most people's Christmases.
My name is Bente. I'm from Germany, and I think we are known to have one of the most traditional Christmas seasons. And I honestly like mostly about Christmas, not even the Christmas day, but the time running up to the Christmas season, the excitement to get together, have the nice foods, isn't it? Yeah. And really looking forward to spend time together and enjoy the moments.
All right, I'm Enoch from Nigeria as well, and I think for myself also, there's no food like Nigerian food, so I have to go with food as well. So so food is the thing for me, and also we tend to have like huge celebrations, fireworks and all that. So those ones are really cool. So
Awesome.
Yeah, my name is David Anyoun from South Sudan. Actually, I have experienced like 3 different ways of celebration Christmas, because I was born in Islamic country. I was born in Khartoum. That has a different way of celebrating it. And also when I moved to South Sudan, there is a different way. And here in Kenya, it's totally different. But I like how we celebrate it in Khartoum. That is the best ever, because before Christmas on 24th, we do a lot of stuff actually. We do a lot of stuff. Like we help our mother out, painting the house, preparing everything. And then on 25th morning, we go to the church, all of us. And the most important thing that we always wait as kids, the offering, the money that our dad give us. That is the most important thing. So everyone has to wait for the dad to come and then give you the money, so you can go, you go give out the offering. That is the most important thing, that on the 25th. And then we come back later, we celebrate. Everyone says food. So food is most important. Yes, after church, definitely you come hungry, tired, you just want to rest. And then you feast. Yes. Yeah.
And last but not least, of course, Joel, you're Kenyan.
Yeah, I'm Kenyan. Hi everyone, I'm Joel from Kenya. And a lot of my rugby fans call me Miguna. So Miguna is my nickname around Kenya rugby. And then talking of how we celebrate Christmas, I can give an example. According to me, I've been brought up in a humble family. So what we do there, I think it's much more of, at that time we have attention of how we're supposed to get new clothes, try new recipe, travel to the countryside, and maybe just welcome a lot of visitors. Then I think as a Christian, we go to the church. That's much more of what we do. We go to the church. Some people even try to make it kind of practical. We act, maybe somebody is Jesus, somebody acts as Jesus. Then Mary is also there. So we see it practically much more of how we celebrate it, and maybe getting visitors. I think at this time of the year, this is when we get to meet relatives from here and there. Maybe other relatives who are abroad, they get to come back. And for us, we have always looked at it as a way of maybe bringing people together, bringing family members together. Yep.
Awesome. Well, my name's Georgia. I'm from the UK, and for me, it is very much. I think there's a common theme here, which we're going to ask again. Is very much food. Christmas is also probably the only time I go to church, which is really bad. But we have nativity plays, like you were saying, and we kind of, you were saying, Joel, we have all the children tend to put on what's called a nativity play, and we have Jesus and Mary and Joseph. So that's, and the singing, I think, for me as well, is kind of a key part of Christmas and getting together with family. But I think, so food is obviously something that we all enjoy about Christmas. Mine is a turkey roast potatoes, Brussels sprouts, cranberry sauce, Yorkshire pudding. Does anyone know what that is? So Yorkshire pudding is like a flour. It's a bit. I mean, I suppose it's a bit like ugali. It's a bit, but it kind of rises. So it's a sort of flour-based thing which you put in hot fat and you bake it as opposed to fry it, and it just kind of puffs up. They're awesome. Lots of Brussels sprouts. I probably said that. So that for me, and then Christmas pudding, which is probably the most disgusting thing in the world. Has anyone tried Christmas pudding?
I've only seen it on the John Lewis ad. It's black and interesting looking, right?
I mean, it tends to be round. I don't know, or kind of oval in shape, and then you put loads of brandy on it, and you basically light it, and it comes in, and it's on fire as you come in. So that's kind of Christmas for me. But what about food? So Eliya, you were...
Yeah. So, I mean, food for us, I mean, you guys, one thing you don't do on Christmas in Tanzania, no, you don't do ugali at all. So it's more of pilau. How do I call pilau? I mean, this is rice with spices. Meat as well. Of course, could be beef or could be chicken. But we also do a lot of barbecue or nyama choma in Swahili. So that's really typical of what you eat on Christmas. Kachumbari as well. This is like your local salad, tomato, onions, and of course a bit of lemon. Now that you put pilau, as we'd call. So on every Christmas day, that is what you'd find in a common household in Tanzania.
And then what about goat? Who eats? Does anyone is there like the sacrificial goat? Is that a kind of so David, you're nodding there. Tell me about what happened.
Yeah, like this Christmas actually we are planning to buy a goat, because every Christmas we do that. Like every Christmas it has to be there, because you have visitors and then they come, we eat all of us, and then we celebrate. And then on 26th, we watch a movie together. Or you can just catch up because it has been a while since you met. Yeah, this kind of things that we do. Like every Christmas, it has to be there. We have to slaughter God. Yeah.
Jomas or Nigeria?
Or chicken.
Chicken.
Yeah. So like when I was a kid, it would be like the proper live chicken. And it would be in the house for a couple of days. And I'm the youngest, so I would get to like feed it and give it water and all those random things.
Oh my gosh!
There's this super weird story, weirdish, where we got the chicken and it stayed with us for like 10 days, and I was looking after it. And I kind of got to like the chicken. And so I got back home one day, just before Christmas, and the chicken, of course, had been slaughtered just like 2 days before to make the stew and everything. And I was like crying and super upset. And then my siblings was like, stop crying, we're not going to get the chicken together. But anyway, and I did eat the chicken after all my tears, but I still eat the chicken. But yeah, for us it's more chicken. You have to have like rice and chicken. Yeah, you can have anything else, but rice and chicken is like the thing, the typical, like you're saying, like yours is pilau, ours is rice and chicken. And
mostly jollof rice and chicken.
Jollof rice, yes,
jollof
that's
rice,
right.
Yeah, I was responsible for killing the chicken. So.
From how old would you be when you're...
Like, it's usually the responsibility of like the father of the home or the elder brother or something of the sorts. But I think at that point there was nobody had come home then, so it was just me, my mom, and she was like, "Son, it's your time." And from then on, I think I was around the age of 14.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a very weird experience, but I enjoyed the chicken afterwards. It was, yeah, that's something I look back and I'm like, that was fun. Okay, it wasn't fun killing the chicken, but
it's funny to eat.
Yeah.
Talking of slaughtering the chicken, one thing to mention in Tanzania, we are quite a diverse country in terms of religion, almost 50-50 Muslim and Christians. So for us, I'm a Christian, raised Catholic. We still call a neighboring Muslim to slaughter the chicken so that they could also eat that chicken.
Okay,
so you don't just slaughter the chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to accommodate your neighbors as well, who are Muslim
so it's
as well.
like halal.
Exactly. So we also take care of that as well.
Okay.
Take it into account. Yeah.
But I know that the Germans. What do they eat? Let me know.
I think we're not so much into okay, I need to diversify a little bit. So my family traditionally, and I think there's two parts of Germany, traditionally also East and West. And when you're looking at the east of Germany, a lot of times it would be potatoes, salad, and sausages. Easy meal, good to prepare. And I think the thinking behind it was, actually I asked my mom before that, is you don't want to have effort on Christmas per se. Now we are also celebrating the main Christmas day on the 24th, not on the 25th. So that the mom of the house can also enjoy, rather than be in the kitchen the whole day. So East Germany is really much about sausages, potato salads. You can prepare it in the morning, it's done, you just take it out of the fridge and you go. West Germany, and I know today we are no longer East and West, but traditionally, and I'm from the west of Germany, is similar to the UK, either turkey or duck. A lot of times also duck, and then with potatoes, vegetables, starter as a soup, dessert, nothing really typical on desserts and soup, but really the turkey and the duck, like more festive kind of meal compared to potato salad and sausages. I think of we asked my mom a couple of times, do you want to have like potato salad and sausage? And she's like, oh, it's not festive enough for the rest of Germany. They're like, this is like a meal you do when you don't have time to cook. Yeah. But East Germany, you will find that 99%.
And Joel, do you resonate? Do any of this not resonate with what you do here in Kenya?
Actually, I can say that for the African way of doing it, we comparing with the Tanzania, it's much more alike. But then for us, I believe that this is the time of the year where we tend to spend a lot, right? I was like, I wish people could spend this for other reasons, not only for eating and festive seasons. But then it's the time of the year when people spend. Giving an example from my end, I think the last Christmas we bought like a cow, we slaughtered it, and we like welcomed our neighbors. You realize somebody there is not able to celebrate Christmas because of one reason or another. So we welcome them. I think for me, just like I said, it's that time of the year where we bring people together, and we try to do something different, some different meal. If we as well don't do ugali, so we try chapati. Chapati is much more of sorry to say, not common in our daily meals. So we try to do chapati. Pilau is part of it. Rice. Cow is there, chicken is there, but then I think I adopted fear with the slaughtering chicken. One day after, I think I tried slaughtering chicken, then it's just started running without the neck. So from that point, I said, no, me and chicken, we are. So I think we do much more of meat and something new recipe.
Did it run around in a circle, the chicken? Could you? Because I think as long as you can run faster than the chicken, you'll be alright.
Yes, I could, but I was like,
scary.
I was like watching a horror movie. Something dead is running with that I had. I was like, I was just not scared. Yeah.
So for us, it's very much, as I've said, kind of turkey and Christmas pudding. But I would say that I love the fact that. In Africa, as opposed to, the Europeans tend to be very much about their kind of smaller sort of family get-togethers, whereas here, on this continent, it just feels a little bit more inclusive, as you're saying about the kind of inviting people. Like I can't imagine my family ever saying, "Yeah, neighbours, come on over." It just wouldn't have happened at all.
But I already have that. So my husband is Kenyan American, so we have like the Kenyan side, the American side, the German side, and as a family you're trying to combine all of them. Obviously now I'm the boss at home, so we're pretty much following on the 24th the German part, on the 25th the Kenyan and American side. But for them, Thanksgiving I think is more the family, when I understood that right, and Christmas is actually more about friends and bigger family. So for us in Germany, if I would tell my mom we're going to invite some people home, she would be like, what are we doing? And like I said, there was a lot of discussions around it, and there's a very common theme. It's about food and it's about getting together. And I think there's one more thing. I always feel, since I left Germany, this coming home for Christmas is always this, life is good. The world is okay. And I think especially in this kind of the environment where we are in, where everything is kind of going crazy a little bit, I think this is also a common theme, which I think everybody's also kind of mentioning. It's about coming home, and then it's about these 2-3 days of, wow, life is,
very grounding,
and very grounding again, and everything seems to be normal. Not normal, but how you grew up before you going back into this whirlwind of 2022. I mean, we all know the world is upside down in a couple of things, but it's like, mom and dad, or and there's not mom and dad, but family is there. There is the food we are used to. There is the environment we are used to. So there is the stability, which I think sometimes we are missing on a day-to-day.
And what about the religion? Obviously, Christmas is very religious. So what about the sort of religious side? What do people do in terms of, for instance, we would, as I said, I admitted to only going to church on Christmas Day. But that, for me is a very important kind of celebration. What do you, Eliya, what do you
so back home in Tanzania, it's very rich as well. As I've said, we are Christians and Muslims. So for Christians, it would be that time of the year that you also go to church. If you haven't gone for maybe a year or so. So I'm Peter's church. Yeah, exactly. And you go. As a whole family, really. Mom, dad, I've got extended family as well. You all go to church on that day. So we do that.
I think for us, and what I used to enjoy a lot growing up, and I still try to do it now that I'm older, is we would go for midnight mass, which was really cool. And I loved it so much because then there'll be the lights and the fireworks and this and such, and it just makes everything much more exciting. If it's dark, I don't know, but it was just like, yay! And then we'll leave the house at about 9, and mass will go from 10 to midnight, and at midnight to be like, Merry Christmas! And everybody loves everybody, and you hug strangers in church, and all of that was really cool. Everyone goes together. And when we were younger, we used to do this thing where at Christmas you would get, I think you mentioned about the new dress. As kids, you would sew new Christmas clothes, and you would have like the same fabric. For example, I grew up in a family of 3 girls and 2 boys, so same fabric for the girls and same for the boys. And then it gets so different styles, but the same fabric. So you could spot all the families across church, because almost everyone had the same thing. Like you say, oh, those guys in blue, the family. Those guys in white, the family. So it was, that's the cool stuff. So church at midnight, all of us in our matching outfits. And then on the day itself, you can just sleep in late and wake up and gorge yourself.
I love it. You're looking forward to Christmas this year.
Oh man, I am going home and I'm super excited. And I think you were saying about when you go, is like this whole, you can just breathe. Yeah. And in my head somewhere, I'm just like racing to the finish line. That's where I am now. I'm going home soon. And then I can just be like, before I come back.
It is funny, isn't it? But it does all back up until Christmas, doesn't it? Even though it's just a day or a couple of days, suppose the holidays are around it, but everything kind of backs up. And then when you get back,
No, so I am religious, but more towards the once, twice, 3 times a year in church. I think it depends. Like when you're a kid, and again in Germany we're on the 24th. The traditional thing is you go to church around 2 to 3 to see the Christmas play. Even here in Nairobi we have the German church. That's on the 24th. There's a Christmas play, and for the kids this is like the start of Christmas. That's where the exciting starts, because afterwards normally the Weihnachtsmann, Santa Claus, will come and bring the presents. So you're going through church and then you're going to come home and then Santa Claus is going to come and visit normally. Yeah. As an adult, it's the midnight mass for me as well, because it gives this romantic, settled kind of feeling. In Germany, we are not so much about fireworks, but about the lights, about the Christmas tree and things like this. Now, we just had a daughter, and it's her second Christmas, but I think it's her first Christmas, which she really not even understands, but she we have these things of Christmas decoration. We put them up this week. She has the Advents calendar, which is, the 24 doors to Christmas. So she has that. So the excitement, as much as I don't think she really understands, but she sees the decorations and she's like, bubble. So she wants to destroy obviously everything. But I'm really much looking forward to this being the first year where at least she is more part of it, and then the other years to come, because I think also Christmas becomes a different meaning again now with a kid. And I must say, me as a mom and also my husband, we are very much trying to keep that excitement also alive. And it's small things, it's the calendar, it's the decorations, and it is work, yeah? You're like having to build up the house, and there's a lot of activities in kindergarten, and they do the play and Christmas parties for them, but it becomes, I must really say, this year again a different meaning again in terms of excitement for her, not necessarily for me and other reasons. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I myself I am religious, and on the 24th is usually a big day for us as well, because there's a lot of planning that actually goes into that day, and sometimes I'm a part of that planning for the service we have on the 24th, decorations, the songs we're gonna sing, who is preaching, what's the play gonna be like. So a lot of things that we actually planned for that day, and it's usually fun to see the church look different. And I think people are more excited during that period because it's one day, but it's not one day, but it's like that season and that time where the service is different, people are dressed differently. We usually tend to have a theme. It's different from hers slightly, but we have a theme color that we have that the whole church wears. So the church is united in one color. Oh, wow. Yeah, so it's like...
So you will tell people wear blue, or even the same kitenge?
Yes, it can be the same thing. So usually it's like everybody looks the same that day. If it's like red, everybody's wearing red. So that tends to be it's just like fun to see that. And also the setting at night as well. It's very, very, well, I think, is romantic the right word? I don't know. It has that nice setting, which it just brings about this calmness in church. Then obviously we have the fireworks, which is a huge part, especially in Nigeria. We don't know why, but it's just a huge part. We have like crazy fireworks and everybody just stands there and just watches and just like...
That's on midnight, that's on the 24th
On the
evening.
24th, yeah. We usually tend to have one also on the 31st as well.
Okay. Yeah.
But on the 24th.
We have 2 fireworks.
Yes, oh yeah. Yeah, it's
I knew it'd be flashing. How about you, Dave?
Well, also in South Sudan, it's I'm a religious also as well. I go to church. Also, like, it has 2 types. If you are kids, you have to wait for 25th. If you're an adult, you will go out for the late mass because you're gonna celebrate 25th there with your friends. But I always sneak out with my big brothers. I always say that I'm not waiting for 25th because 25th I have to do other things. I have to be home waiting for the guests to come so I can just welcome them, because in Christmas we have a different way of welcoming our guests. First, when they come, before you serve them food, you have to give them cookies. So we bake. We give them cookies, drinks, and candies there. And then before they have the food, because food is lately like something like dinner thing. Yeah, so we go on 25th to church. And also the most important things, like the trick that Dad showed us, just you will gonna get money. So to go to church, you have to get money first.
It's an investment.
Yeah. I mean, you have to. So if on that day if you are not going to church, that means you are not getting no money, and you're gonna stay broke. So you have to go. Yeah, so you have to go.
So it's a bribe.
No, it's just like because some kids don't like going to church. Yeah, that's what.
That's what I meant.
Yeah. That's how we do it on 25th.
No, last but not least, Joel, I kind of feel like you've been left last year. No, it's now your turn.
Okay, so anyway, my Christmas experience, I think I can, talking of being in town, in this Nairobi city, and being back at the countryside, those are both 2 different experiences. So how we do it back in the countryside is not much more religious. I think fireworks, we kind of try to maybe employ new techniques of maybe having fireworks. So there's this sisal root. It's kind of more fabric. So what we do, we light it up with the matchbox. So then we get like 2 boys or three of my cousins to climb up the tree. Then we just tie it at the end. You tie it to the rope and spin it around. So people around will think there's fireworks here, even though there's no fireworks. That's much more how we do it at the countryside. That's an experience, though I've not had a long time of experience with that. So back in town, we still have, like talking of experiences, we have different families. My mom is a church elder. And there are those kind of people who believe that Christ was not born on 25th. She's like, hey, who told you? You really have to go to church. So what we do, because by then I'm still under their roof, I'm like, okay, I don't want to rub shoulders with you, mom. Do what you want me to do. So what we do, we help with preparing food at night. Then after that, I think we go out, light the fireworks. You find that by that time we've really saved some money to buy fireworks. So we go light them, maybe go to the balcony, light them up. Then I think we help mom in preparing food and maybe getting the house ready, like maybe putting the, should I call the neon lights around, put them there. Then I think that's all. It's not much.
I thank you so much for sharing your stories. That's all we've got time for. I could have talked for hours actually about kind of all the differences, the different ways in which people celebrate Christmas. But thank you for talking to us and sharing your experiences. I want you all to have a lovely Christmas. Enjoy your time off and seeing family and friends, and all come back to KOFISI probably £3 heavier. Maybe more. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.